Toby here, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about a bit of an update that's very exciting in regards to Strongman, obviously. As you can tell by the title, I have decided to bite the bullet and get a coach. So in this video, I'm going to go over exactly why I decided to get a coach, who my coach is, and what I expect to gain, and what my goals are going forward in this new chapter. So first things first, you guys have probably heard of my coach. I have been coached by BIG LOZ, Lawrence Charlet, of the BIG LOZ official YouTube channel. Obviously, if you like Strongman, you know who Loz is. Very, very accomplished strongman, 11-time World's Strongest Man competitor, 2016 Europe's Strongest Man, beating the mountain and ending his streak. So, very, very accomplished strongman, and of course, widely known in the strongman community as an incredible coach. So, I am very much looking forward to working with Loz to accelerate my training to the next level. Because he is someone I look up to massively in the sport, obviously. It is no secret that I do YouTube and he also does YouTube. He's a big inspiration for that side of things, making content surrounding Strongman, and sort of gave me the inspiration to go ahead and make a YouTube channel and share my experiences, share my views on the sport, my experiences training the sport. Even though I'm not a top level competitor, I feel like I've got a sort of niche in the sport where a lot of these top level guys have got their YouTube channels, and it's incredible seeing them doing incredibly big weights. But I'm someone who is very, very much in the novice tier of the sport, doing what are big weights for normal people, but are absolutely peanuts compared to what some of these mega strongmen can do. So it's a lot more relatable for you guys watching the channel. So why did I get a coach, and why do I think I need one, and also when should you get a coach? So the big reason why I finally bit the bullet and decided to get a coach is because I'm fortunate now that I'm able to afford it. So beforehand, you guys may know if you follow the channel, I've been doing my degree at Cardiff University. So I have just finished that, just become an adult working man, yet to get a job, but that is coming in the near future. And once I have a salary, I will be able to support myself through getting money from the job, obviously, and I'll be able to pay for coaching with that salary because it is a lot cheaper than you would think. So yeah, that is one of the main reasons, is now I'm financially able to do it. I'm back living at home with my parents, so I save a lot of money on things like rent, food, bills, that sort of thing, that I can channel back into my strength and my YouTube channel. Another reason I held off for so long on getting a coach is because I didn't feel like I was ready. I didn't feel like I needed one at that point. So a lot of you guys may or may not know, I have only been training strongman anyway since sort of lockdown, and it was more out of necessity rather than choice. So everyone knows that in March of 2020, all of the gyms shut in the UK and across the world, and that meant a lot of people didn't have a lot to train with. And at that time, I was quite overweight, I wasn't happy, I didn't really lift. I'd been to the gym a couple of times with friends, just messing around. Found that I was just naturally very, very strong. So the first 1 rep max deadlift I ever went for, I got 140 kilo, which my friends who had been training for about half a year had not even hit. So an untrained 140 kilos is pretty good for me. And I say untrained, I had done bits and pieces in the gym, but I never really 1 rep max. So for a first time 1 rep max, I was very, very happy with that, and it sort of inspired me to get in and get strong, and it also made me a lot fitter. And then of course gyms shut, so just as I was getting started in my lifting journey, the gyms shut, and all I had access to was a couple big rocks that we had got in the garden. So if you don't know already, I'm from the Cotswolds. There is a lot of Cotswold stone in the ground, and digging up some flower beds, we found these big old boulders, and at the time I think I had a 60 kilo one and a 112 kilo one. So I could just about get the 112 off the floor, but it was a bit heavy. But the 60 kilo one was perfect for things like carries, stone rows, that sort of thing. And that is how I trained for the first couple months of lockdown. And I lost quite a bit of weight just doing general cardio like running, skipping with the jump rope and stuff like that, and just lifting this rock. And that is when I discovered the sport of strongman, finding out that there is a sport where you can lift rocks, a bunch of other weird things, and I was just instantly hooked. I was absolutely just drawn into this sport, and I decided to bite the bullet and get myself a rack, a bench, a barbell and some plates. So I used the lovely rent rebate I got for the university for not living in their student halls because of COVID to buy the first beginnings of this home gym. Cleared out the garage of all its clutter and turned it into the home gym, and that's when I really started. So it was probably about April, May time of 2020, I finally had access to a barbell, some plates, a bench, a rack, and really got my training underway. And luckily enough, I knew how to deadlift pretty well, I knew how to squat pretty well. I had done a couple PT sessions before, gyms had shut, so I was able to work on it myself for a while. And for the first year of lifting, I focused on the power lifts, squat, bench, deadlift, overhead, and I still did a bit of strongman to keep up with it. Lost a lot of weight, gained a lot of strength, and it was all newbie gains, so I didn't feel like I needed a coach in that time. And then I actually went and did a training session in November of 2021 with Gavin the Bull Bilton, and that is when I got to try some professional kits, some actual strongman kit that I didn't have access to, and again fell in love. Was just naturally really good at things like the farmer's walk, the Viking press were the two that I tried. Naturally just felt comfortable, came easy to me, so I decided that I was going to pursue strongman, do it properly, and get underway. And then exactly a year later of September 2020, no wait, sorry, it was November 2020 that I trained with Gavin the Bull Bilton, and then in September of 2021 I got ahead and did my first competition. I competed in Cardiff Strongest Man. It was a novice competition. You guys probably know that. I have done videos on it in the past. In fact, in the cards I will link the video where I break down the full competition, how I did. And I spent my summer that year of 2021 training towards that, not really knowing what I was doing, having never done some of the events before like the circus dumbbell, really just getting out of my comfort zone and competing, and I ended up coming sixth, which for me was an incredible result. I wanted top 10. There was only 11 guys competing, so basically I didn't want to come last. And then getting sixth was just incredible, considering out of the people competing in the novice tier at the time, I was the youngest and also one of the lighter guys. So there were some quite big guys competing in the novice tier, and I beat quite a few of the bigger guys. There were a couple of guys lighter than me, but yeah, I was incredibly just not humbled, but like ecstatic that I had done so well in my first comp. And then after that was when I started considering getting a coach. So obviously I've known about LOZ since I started doing the sport, and it was when sort of, yeah, just after my competition I was like, right, I want to take this seriously, I want to do it. And not because I think I can get to the top level, not because I think I can even get close to the top level, but because I enjoy it and because I want to push myself to see how far I can go. So I don't have these big old dreams of becoming world's strongest man. If that is something that my body allows me to do, and my natural talent in the sport, which I think I have, not massive amount. I'm not the best build for a strong man. I have a few disadvantages in that respect, but I feel like I've got a better starting point than a lot of people. So if that's something I can do, then so be it. But I just want to push myself to the absolute limit and see what I can do personally. So yeah, that's what I'm competing for. I'm not one of these people who is massively unrealistic in their own goals and set themselves this super long-term goal of making it to world's strongest man, when realistically 90% of people doing this sport cannot achieve that, but a few can. So I just want to push myself where I'm going. So for the longest time I held off on getting a coach after that competition because my training was going all right, but then it sort of plateaued off a bit. And a plateau is expected as you get obviously stronger and stronger. It's not an exponential thing, it's exponentially declining, so you cannot infinitely get stronger, and I was expecting a plateau sooner or later. So just after I hit my 230 kilo deadlift for the first time, I plateaued for 10 months. There was 10 months where I didn't gain any strength in the deadlift, I gained very little strength in my other lifts, and I just sort of kept plugging along where I was, not really knowing how to progress in that area, how to break the plateau. And then I picked up LOZ's Warrior Strength programs and did one run through of those, that 12-week program, and I ended up smashing my plateau. I broke my deadlift PR, broke my squat PR, broke my bench PR, broke my log PR, broke my strict press PR. I broke all of my PRs. And it was just through this one 12-week program. And that's when I decided that the training style that LOZ puts to his athletes and puts to this program seems to work very well for me, and it was the final like nail in the coffin for burying my I can do this myself to deciding that I do actually need a coach. And that is why I decided to go ahead and get a coach. Now, if you didn't gather it from that sort of waffle of my sort of strongman journey, introducing you guys to me and why I decided to get a coach at this point, my advice for getting a coach is don't get one straight away. You can get a lot of progress before needing a coach, because newbie gains are an amazing thing. When you go from not lifting at all, your first year or two of lifting, you will make significant progress without the need of a coach. Now, I've been lifting for over 2 years now, and I think I'm ready to take it to the next level and get a coach. I can financially afford it. That is the main thing. Do not go for coaching if you cannot afford it, and don't cheap out on a really cheap coach who doesn't know what they're doing. Make sure your coach has credentials like Loz and like some of these other coaches out there, because it's very difficult to find a really good coach, and you have to get on with the person as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing how Loz will train me and how I will be able to push myself through his coaching to the next level. I've got some long-term goals, but yeah, that is basically why I decided to get a coach. My long-term goals that I mentioned briefly there are, I want to be able to hit a 300 kilo deadlift at some point during my life. That is sort of the achievable long-term goal I've set myself. What I want to do in the next year is get my deadlift to 250, so it's 235 at the minute. I feel like on the day I had 240 in me, so I feel like within the next year I could potentially push that up to 250 if I really try hard, potentially further, I don't know. And I also want to get my log press specifically up to about 115, 110 kilo. So another 10 kilo on my log, 10, 15 kilo on there would be a goal in a year. Overall, for my life, I'd like to hit 150 kilo log press. So that is quite not unachievable, but it is a long-term goal, a very long-term goal. But I believe that I'll be able to get there with the help of Loz and this coaching. So I'm hoping it goes well. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hopefully it provided a bit of an insight to the next chapter of this channel and the next chapter of my life in being coached by Loz. Hopefully it provided you with some advice on when you should consider getting a coach. Hopefully my story and why I decided to get a coach now can relate to what you guys are going through during your first year of lifting. Honestly, I would hold off on a coach. You can get a lot achieved. Sorry, camera cut out there. I was just saying you can get a lot achieved by yourself, but if you hit a plateau down the line and feel like you will want to get a coach and have the funds, more importantly, to get one, then I'd dive in and get one. So I'll let you guys know how this coaching goes, whether I think it is worth it down the line. But I start officially on Monday, so it should be very, very fun. But yeah, that is all I have time for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching so much of this channel. As I mentioned earlier, I went to university in Cardiff, which is coincidentally where the Giants Live World Deadlift Championships are being held this weekend. And if any of you watching this video are going and want to say hi, I will be there. So if you could see, if you see me out and about and want to come say hi, please feel free to. I know there's only about 355 or 350 of you guys subscribed to this channel, but even if just one of you are going, please come find me, come say hi. It'd be lovely to meet some of you guys. But anyway, I've been Toby. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far in the video and haven't considered clicking subscribe, please go ahead and do so and see how working with Loz goes in the future. And of course, like the video and comment down below whether you guys have a coach. What are you finding good about coaching? Whether you guys don't have a coach and have some advice as to why you think you don't need a coach. But yeah, and also, of course, let me know your goals down below. I will leave a comment which you guys can reply to of what are your long-term goals within lifting and the sport. Should be really interesting to see what you guys have to say. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I've been Toby and I will see you in the next video.